Hi there, this is Danielle Tremblay of WhiteLightConnection.com, animal communicator, here to speak with you today about the impact on the posture and conformation of a horse who's experiencing a painful mouth. So in communicating with horses over the years, many of the things they've told me is if they have a painful section of their area in their mouth, a painful tooth, or multiple painful areas, or areas where you've got teeth that are overgrown. Sometimes they'll use the word peaks or waves or mountains, or edges that are really, really sharp in their mouth. They'll show me these areas and how it affects how they hold their head in space. So if I'm looking out at the horizon line through a horse's eyes, there are times that I will sense pain in the mouth, and when I take a look out through their eyes, I'll actually sense an ever so slight head tilt. And sometimes that's because if they have pain on one side of the mouth, let's pretend in the bottom right, okay, you as a human would potentially, perhaps, given enough time, do this as well. They're often not going to want to jar their teeth too tightly together, and as a result, they might have lighter pressure on this side of the mouth, perhaps even creating a little bit of a hairline space between the two teeth itself, the two upper and lower jaw sections of teeth, and they might hold more tightly on the left in a more natural sort of bite. Well, that causes a bit of an angle to be created in their mouth, and over time, when you look out the horizon line, they might hold their head a little ever so slightly ajar as well. And that's because, open one section, keep the other closed, of course it's going to create an angle with the eyes. So other times I've felt, tension and muscular pain in the area of the muscles on either side of the mouth, simply from over too much time passing along that animal holding its mouth in a rather unnatural way. Having balanced teeth in your horse is so important. And it's been surprising to me and to many owners who confirm this information afterwards, that I'll say, I realize your horse is young, but however, I realize you don't normally float teeth in a horse this young, and yet they're experiencing some pain and discomfort. Lo and behold, the owners will have their equine dentist or specialist out and take a look, and they'll notice ulcers on the inside of the cheek where scraping has been happening, or wolf teeth in a position that's too close to the bit, or something that's ajar and out of place. So sometimes other horses have indicated painful mouths create increased tension at the TMJ joints, and that as a result can increase pain and tension at the back of the poll area. Some horses have described having headaches simply because of a mouth-related issue. Sometimes, too, they'll have neck tension, pressure, and tenseness on one or sometimes equally both sides of the neck that, limits their range of motion of looking left, right, up, and down. I've even had some horses who indicate having molars too high in the very back. It's like when they're being ridden with the bit, they will hold their head really, really high. They have a tough time relaxing and bringing their head down, simply because to do so would change the angle of how they hold their head and how they hold their teeth with that bit in place, and as a result, it would make it extremely uncomfortable for them to do. But, shave down their teeth at the appropriate way using your equine health professionals, and they're now able to relax and bring their head down. Sometimes I've felt pain and pressure in the shoulder muscles themselves. I mean, one wouldn't think that the shoulder muscles would be too impacted, perhaps, from something going on with the jaw, but indeed, with enough time passing of a mouth not being addressed, or maybe people didn't know that there was a problem in the mouth, indeed that can cause tension and pain elsewhere. I mean, it changes, since the head is so central and the mouth is so central to the animal. I mean, it even is for us humans. If there's pain or discomfort in one section, it changes. It has a boomerang effect on how one holds the rest of their body. And, a horse may not be able to pick up the right lead or easily turn to the right or to the left simply because of something going on with the mouth. Now, if you were for a moment to pretend that you were a horse and you had pain here, bottom left jaw, and that was the only, let's pretend for a moment that let's artificially enhance this so that you can feel the engagement of your own neck muscles so that you can have a learning experience. If you're for a moment pretend that you've got pain here, you're probably going to want to keep these two teeth, top and bottom, from jarring. And so you might, if you have a hand coming near your your horse, you might shy away consistently or fairly consistently because you don't want that region touched because it's going to be ouchy. You might flinch even if somebody's about to bring their hand close to you because you're ouchy on that side. But let's pretend that you wanted to keep this as least painful as possible, and let's pretend we keep our jaw a little bit ajar, a little bit apart, okay, with a little bit of space between the ridges and molars. Let's pretend you hold here more natural. So if you do that, and I'm going to overemphasize it so you get my point, I'm going to open here, close on the other side. If you're a horse and you do what I just did, you're going to actually feel the engagement of tightness here. And even as a human, let's pretend you had to hold your mouth that way for a month at a time, 5 months at a time. That's going to create pain and tension. That's going to, and since muscles are connected and overlap to other muscles, it's going to create pain and tension, and it's going to start to spread with time to other sections of the body, potentially. So, it's just really something to address. So do your best to keep your horses happy campers, address their mouths, and, just get the attention that they need so that all is well with them, and you can have the best riding partner possible. Wishing you all well.